Wouldn't it be great if you could take the assistants you've already built on OpenAI and bring them into Chip? Well, you can. This is Scott from Chip. We've now made it easier than ever to move your AI assistants into Chip. So let me show you how to do it. Let's create a new application on Chip. Here's one that I started building. And when you go into settings, there's two different options. First, if you want, you can put your own OpenAI API key here. What that means is that you'll be billed directly. Now, why would you want to do that? If you put your own OpenAI API key, you can actually track activity on that key, and then you would pay yourself. But that does allow you to kind of see activity, maybe segment users, and some people want to do that. Now, if you want to have your own API key and your own assistant, you can now do that under the build section. Just scroll down to the bottom and choose chat type OpenAI Assistant instead of Chip Assistant. Now, what that's going to do is give you two fields here, the assistant ID right there, and then the OpenAI API key right there. Now, what you're going to need to do is build your assistant on OpenAI, copy your ID and key, and bring that into Chip. So Chip actually acts as the front end. All of the files and the prompts are going to live on OpenAI. So all of the functionality of Chip is going to go away, but you can still bring things in. So if you're an agency, if you're someone who's built a lot of assistants, you can still use Chip very easily. So you would go to OpenAI and just click Login. Now, when you log into OpenAI, you're going to have the option to do ChatGPT or the API. You're going to go into the API. And then here on the left-hand side, you're going to see a little robot. This is where you build the assistants. So note that this is different than building a GPT on the ChatGPT store, right? So this is going to be an assistant, not a GPT. ChatGPT or OpenAI, they don't actually let you take your data out, which is kind of crazy, right? Everybody's giving them data information, but you can't export that or take the assistant ID out and use it. So if you have built an assistant, though, you can. So if you had an assistant, you could create it. If you already have one like I do, I'm going to click on here. And you'll see the assistant ID is right here under the name. So I'm just going to copy that, go back to my Chip chat, and then I'm going to paste that in, right? And I can click this eyeball if I want to see it. So there's my assistant ID. And then I need an OpenAI API key. So I'm going to go on here and click on keys. And you need to create a new one to be able to copy it. So I'm going to do my test key for YouTube. And we'll click create secret key. And then we're going to copy that. And then we're going to put that in to my OpenAI API key. And again, I can click that and view it. I'll delete that key right after this video. And now that'll run. So anything that I do on this assistant is going to work on Chip. So I can change the instructions, the model. I can choose what functions I have as well as what files. So that gives you a lot of fine tuning. If you still want to use OpenAI, or if you've built a lot already and you want to bring them into Chip so that you can manage them, can sell them, brand them, you can do all of that way. One thing to note, if you are building on OpenAI, you are going to have money to pay for that call. So make sure that you go into the usage tab and that you have a spending limit and you have money in your account. Otherwise, it won't work. So that's the new way that you can switch over to the OpenAI assistant to easily move your assistants into Chip and to unlock new capabilities. We can't wait to see what you bring into Chip, what you build, and how we can build the future of AI together.